Shalom, Israel. Shalom, shalom. Brother Naquam, watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut, giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashima Mashiach, woman like Abishai. Double honor to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting and laboring for the second coming of our Lord Yahushai. A hearty, mighty shalom to all of the mighty men of the Most High God who are out there in the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice, and enduring all things for the elect's sake. Shalom to those men. Shalom to the men that may not be out there in the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying. They're fasting. They're studying. They're being diligent. And they're abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom to those men. Shalom to the Aquath out there, the sincere sisters out there, zealous, diligent, and on fire, moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers. Shalom to the ancient men. Shalom to the children. Shalom to the elected Israel scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. And everybody tuning in live. Shalom, D-Vash Branch, Solomon McFadden, Yvette McKellar, Don Israel Tamid, Yazian David Yehuda Israel, Trisha Flowers, Taylor C, Yashab Rael, Carmel, Ray Israel, Kyoko Banyamyan, Brother Believe, Azagat Sauce, and everybody else tuning in and that will tune in, Lord willing, right? Going into this series of prophecy, right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, 2025 pandemics, right? Plagues, pestilence, and major prophecy. We spoke last night or the previous cold cut through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai of major famines that draw nigh on the earth, man. Of major famines that Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to bring on the earth. And it's not just famines, right? There's more death. Hey, Jeremiah, what did Jeremiah say, man? Let's get this in Jeremiah, the 28th chapter, right? What did Jeremiah say? There's more destruction coming on the earth, man, right? And we have to break it down, the evils that are going to befall the society, right? Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence, man. So Jeremiah wasn't the first prophet. There were prophets that predated Jeremiah's prophethood or his ministry, man. Isaiah, the prophet, Amos, Haggai, Elijah, Elisha, Noah, Enoch, right? These different prophets that predated, for lack of better terms, Jeremiah's ministry, they all moved in the same spirit. And they all prophesied against great kingdoms of war, man. Right? Didn't Elijah prophesy the downfall of the northern kingdom, so-called, man? Right? Didn't Elisha prophesy about what the Syrians would do? You understand? To the children of Israel? Right? Didn't Isaiah prophesy of destruction? All of our forefathers, they prophesy of war and of evil and of pestilence, man. Let's go into this word pestilence through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Right? So when we're out there prophesying, right? We're out there prophesying of destruction, man. We're not here to tell everybody that America is going to be around for 5,000 more years, man. And everything's just going to go well, and you're going to go according to the course of this world, and things are going to get better. The economy is going to increase. People are going to return back to America being great again, and life is going to change as you know it. No, man. We're always talking about the end of the world. That's one of my favorite topics to go into through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, the end of this society, man. The downfall of this kingdom. I was on a plantation thinking about the downfall of the society, man. Damn Edomites in my face talking to me, and all I'm thinking about is when is this place going to be destroyed, man? Right now, this is the word pestilence, right, from Jeremiah 28:8, right, and it reads pestilence, plague, murrain, cattle disease, cattle plague, right? So a plague or a pestilence is a disease, right? So the Most High said that there were prophets that were before Jeremiah, and Jeremiah even himself, they prophesied of war, which we talk about. We talk often of World War III. We talk often of what's going to happen in the so-called Middle East, man. We speak about Russia, China, Iran, Iraq. We speak about America, right? NATO, the beast. We speak of war, right? And we speak of evil, man. right? Concentration camps and martial law, right? Nuclear sirens going off, underground bunkers being built. And they were also prophesying of pestilence, man, and the plagues that the Most High is going to send on the earth. Now, there are some plagues that are already on the earth, and there are plagues that are going to continually go on the earth, but you're going to have more and more plagues through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua, man. Right? So let's go back to this. I want to read the next verse in Jeremiah 28. Right? Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 9. The prophet which prophesied the peace. When the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that Yahweh hath truly sent him. So in these last days, you're going to know who's the true prophets. Are men that prophesy peace and make America great again and prosperity doctrine? Are those the men of the Lord? Or are the men that's been telling you that destruction is coming, doomsday draws nigh, the missiles are going to drop, disease is going to be rampant on the earth, people are going to be coughing up blood, choking to death, starving to death, and dying? You're going to find out in the last days who serveth the Most High and who serveth him not, pursuant to Malachi, the 3rd chapter. Right? Let's go to Second Ezra 15. Right? You may say, well, why do you keep talking about the end of the world? Well, the Most High told us to talk about the end of the world, man. We're not going to put off the evil day of the Lord. We're going to keep pushing destruction and doomsday and all hell breaking loose, man. Because sometimes, again, our people, man, like I was saying last night, sometimes our people, man, they get too far off into this system, right? And some people, they really have, some people that's not even in this world, they have no idea what's going on. So the Spirit may have them kind of tune in and actually understand that the God that we serve, right, and the God that they think that they serve is about judgment. And these judgments should instill fear in our people's heart, right? Second Ezra 15 and 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. So everything like Samuel, when Samuel prophesied, there didn't drop a word to the ground. Everything that Samuel said was faithful and true. It came to pass. Everything Elijah said, it was faithful and true. It came to pass. When Daniel interpreted the dream for Nebuchadnezzar in Daniel, the 2nd chapter, he said the dream thereof is certain and the interpretation sure. So the prophecy of those kingdoms and their destruction by Yahweh Shai, that's certain. It's sure. The things that we speak, we are confident that they're going to happen. We're not like a meteorologist who said there's a 50% chance of rain and you might get an overcast and, well, what if this and what if that? There ain't no 50% chance of destruction that might happen, it might not happen. And no, man. We're not weathermen. We're not these guys you see on the local news, man. Whatever we say, if we are reading it out of the scriptures, it's going to come to pass. If we're telling you what the Most High said, man. Because we're always, and the Lord said in Romans, the 3rd chapter, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, right? And mightest overcome when thou art judged. So if we're telling you that pestilence, famine, and war is going to happen, and we're reading it out of the word of the Most High, then guess what is going to happen, man? Now we're reading it out of our own script. I take out this big book, right? And it had 3 exclamation points on it, man, right? And I read out of my own belly, then you have reason to question. But if we're reading straight out of the word to the Most High, you got to deal with it, man. Our people have to take heed to the destruction that draws nigh. Romans chapter 3 and verse number 3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? Right. Just because you don't believe, I don't know about that. I've been taking my herbs, right? Nobody's going to harm me. There's no destruction coming. God isn't into that. He loves everybody. I don't believe that. You guys just prophesy the end of the world too much. Is that going to stop the end from happening? Let's find out. God forbid. Yea, let the Most High be true, but every man a liar. As it is written, here's the point, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings and mightest overcome when thou art judged. So we are completely justified in all that we say, as long as we stick to the script, right? Which is these scriptures, the writings of our fathers, the apostles, and the prophets of Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua, right? Let's go to Luke chapter 21 and 11 real quick. Right? Let's go to Luke chapter 21 and verse 11. Now you've had pestilence happen before, man. You've had major outbreaks and epidemics and major things that transpired, but things are going to increase, man. And you're going to have things that happen in local areas and small countries and great countries, and you're going to have things on the global level, right? Luke 21 and 11. And great earthquakes. Here's what Yahweh Shah said, right? You see it right here on the screen, things to come. And like I went into last night, it's not just ICBM missiles and the chariots. Those aren't the only two prophecies. If you think those are the only two prophecies, ICBM missiles and chariots, then you need to go back into these prophecies, man. Go back into the Mark, Matthew, Luke, John, Mark 13, Luke 21, Matthew 24. Read the book of Revelation, Ezekiel, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Daniel. Read these accounts, man. The book of Zechariah. There are more prophecies that have to unfold, right? Luke 21 and 11. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven, right? Now, let's go to this word in the Greek real quick, right? We went into it in the Hebrew, and it means the same thing, right? Loimos is the word pestilence in the Greek, and it means a pestilence, pest, or plague, right? Pestilence. Most diseases come from animals, right? That's why it's called a pestilence. Like a rat is a pest, right? Mice are pest. Ticks are pest. You understand? Certain swine and certain disease carrying animals are pest. Little insects and things of that nature that attach themselves to people. These are pests. That's where you get the word pestilence from. Because most diseases are caused by man's interaction with beast, right? Now, the word, let's go into this, right? Here's the actual definition of pestilence. Because this is part of the prophecy. The Lord said there's going to be famines, wars, nation against nation. But we got, brothers, just we overlook that word pestilence. Like it's not going to happen. A fatal epidemic disease, especially bubonic plague. And that's just one of them. Everybody knows about what they call the Black Death. That's just one of them. Right? And there's two types of major outbreaks. You have an epidemic and you have a pandemic. Right? Epidemic and pandemic are two different ones. Pan means all around. A pandemic is something that's global. All right? That's a global outbreak. Right? An epidemic is something that's kind of close. Right? And it's increasing more and more. And epidemics, if they're not controlled and contained, and if the Most High don't have mercy on you, eventually they become pandemics, right? They eventually transition and evolve to a pandemic, right? And the Most High is going to bring these on the earth, man. He's going to bring these on the earth, right? Just to back up what I said, here's the etymology of the word pandemic. Incident to a whole people or region. From Latin pandemus or Greek pandemos, meaning pertaining to all people, right? Public, common, from pan, meaning all, and demos, meaning people. So it literally means all people. A pandemic is when people are in Japan, Canada, Europe, Africa, Australia, South America, whatever. They're all hit. And really, these are being operated, and they don't tell you that, right? You're not going to go to your local physician, and it's not going to be on the news, but these things are actually being controlled by demons, right? There are actual demons that Yahweh Shai has created, and they operate in the terrestrial realm, like I always say, and they're sent down here to affect and destroy and break down man's fleshly body. There are actual spirits, right? We bring that out all the time. Sirach 39 at 28, man. Remember when Job got boils from the crown? Let me actually get that first in Job, the second chapter. I got a lot of precepts. right? Well, not that many, but I want to get these, right? This is Job chapter 2 and 7. So Satan went forth from the presence of Yahweh, Ba'ashmael Shai, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. So who smote Job with this plague, with sore boils? And I don't know if a brother ever had a boil, but a boil ain't nothing nice, man. Right? You look up people, let's see. See, now they kind of blurring out some of this stuff, man. Right? Might not be able to show. But you look at people covered with boil. This is a boil. Those things are painful, man. Imagine that, man. Probably itch. You probably touch it, it's sore, you know? So if you're covered with boils from the crown of your head to the sole of your foot, right? The Most High sent Satan to do that, man. We read that Satan smote Job with boils. Now, who gave Satan the authority? The Most High. The Lord told Satan, right? When you read the previous verse, right? This Job 2 and 6. And I'm gonna actually read 4. Because remember, the Most High took everything from Job, right? His family, his wealth, etc. But one thing the Lord initially didn't take from Job was his health and his life. He didn't personally affect him, right? And Satan, here's what Satan said in Job 2 and 4. And Satan answered the Lord and said, skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. And, skin for skin is a proverb, right? This is a proverb that essentially means that a man, he'll let everybody affect him. I mean, he'll let anything happen to anybody. But when you put his skin on the line and you put his flesh on the line, then he's liable to go off. He's liable to curse you. He's liable to rail on you. He's liable to doubt. That's what skin for skin means. Yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life, right? As long as he could keep his life, he'll give everything up, right? And that's what Satan was saying. He said, look, man, I got to touch Job because you could take away the wealth of every brother. But when you start affecting that brother himself, now you really, now you see if that man really is about his integrity, right? Verse number 5. But put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. So all plagues are sent by the Most High to Satan. And some plagues are sent to just be on you for a moment. Because the Most High, ultimately, if you're the elect, you may have times where you're sick, you have these infirmities, but you recover. That's what this means, but save his life. The fact that you recovered, it's not necessarily because you worked out and you drank a lot of water. The Most High gave the order for you to recover. Because if the Most High wanted to, that sickness could have stuck to you to the day that you died. So think about all of the ailments and fevers and migraines and flus and things that you've had, and you recovered. It was at the Most High that you recovered. The Lord actually held back that demon from destroying you. He said, save his life, plague him, give him a fever, but don't kill him. Didn't the Lord do that to the angel in 2 Samuel 24? The angel was out there destroying all of Israel, man. And the Lord said, it is enough. And the angel kind of restrained himself. So these ailments and these infirmities are sent by the Most High. Whether you have the common cold or you have some major global outbreak or you're a victim of it, it's by the Most High. Let's go to Revelation, the 6th chapter, right? Let's go to Revelation chapter 6. This is Revelation chapter 6 and verse number 7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, come and see. Now, this is the John the Revelator, right? Watching the visions of different prophecies, right? That unfold in the last days. Right now, these are the days of the fourth seal. And the fourth seal is slowly coming to an end, right? The more that they ramp up these anti Semite laws and hate speech and disinformation and put us on a level where we're hated of all nations, right? The more that you see propaganda unfold targeting the ministry and the men of the Lord is a sure sign that we're approaching closer to that fifth seal. But right now, we rest in the fourth seal. So John and the seal represents a particular um, prophecy, right? Particular timeline when certain events are going to happen, right? Now let's read on. And we can go into these seals. We went into it before, but there are seven seals, right? Revelation chapter 6 and 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beast of the earth. And the point I want, it says what? And power was given unto them. So there are actual demons, evil spirits that the Most High he lumped together. He called them death, right? So death is made manifest by the evil spirits that cause death. And hell followed with them. Hell represents the grave. It's not an eternal fire underground. Now, the Most High gave these spirits power over the fourth part of the earth, meaning a certain portion of men, to kill with sword, meaning war, and with hunger. We went into that in a previous cold cut, meaning famine, and with death. Death could be pestilence, right? Death could be anything, man. But right now, we're focusing on major disease and plagues that are coming. You know, one thing about the Most High is, man, you read these accounts, the Most High has he got a bag, man. Right? The Most High got a bag of diseases, man. Like Jake Hoop, they say he got a bag. He could dribble left. He can go behind the back. He can get you pump fake. He can do this. He can do the run. He can do a lot. He in his bag. The Most High got a bag of diseases, man. Right? He don't just have a common cold. And the Most High, man, you see what people go through, man. You've seen it yourself. You see how people are born. You see how people, damn, the Most High have people with face all jammed up. I seen the guy turn into a stone, man. Right? I seen a rock man. Let's see if I can find that rock man. I think he was in India, right? Man, I don't even know how to find this. Rock man disease. Right? Let's see if I can find that. Look at this guy. Right? The Lord will turn you to a rock. Stop playing with the Most High, man. Tree man. They call him Tree man. He dreams of cure as rare skin disease returns. You keep playing with Yahweh Shemel Shah. Keep willingly going off and going against the grain. You're going to wake up and you're going to see something in your hand. And what the hell is this, man? Is that a wart? Is that dry? It's going to look like eczema or dry skin patch. And you're going to try to scratch it off and it don't go off. You're like, what the hell? Then you see another one on your skin and you wake up the next day, is one on your arm and you look in the mirror and, well, what is that? And you're looking under your eye and next thing you know, you turn into rock man. Stop playing with the Most High, man. And what you going to do with this, man? Where the herbs at? Your ginger, Jake, you love your ginger. Ain't nothing wrong with your ginger, your lemon, and your honey. But that can't save you from this, man. Right? Only the Most High can save you from this. Look at this. Tree man. You got to ask this guy, what did he do, man? This is judgment. Right? This is judgment right here. Let's see if I can get that. Right? Look at that. Man, you don't want that guy doing nothing, man. Right? That guy, hey, he can't hand you nothing. If you drop something, hey, I got it. He can't hand you nothing. You don't want him holding the door for you. You know, hey, look, man, you don't need him patting you on the back, giving you a round of applause. You don't need none of that with this guy. This guy, he can mind his business, man. Now he look like he could be an Elamite, man. Why don't Elamites be getting jammed up? So the point is, the Most High, he has strange calamities to the inhabitants of the earth, man. He got strange calamities. You got people with let's pull this up. Right? Elephantitis, man. Elephantitis, elephant elephantiasis, Slovakia, elephantiasis, right? Or elephantitis if you Jake, also known as lymphamic filariasis, Slovakia. I'm not a doctor, right? Is a chronic disfiguring disease caused by parasitic worms that damage the lymphatic system, right? So you get all jammed up, huh? Right? This is what the Most High can do to you. Keep playing with Yahweh Shmi Shot, man. Right? You're gonna wake up, your leg gonna be itching. All right, you like, what the hell? And right, you go to scratch in the middle of the night and it's swollen. You look up, you put ice on it. Ice ain't helping this. You can't ice this. Okay, I'll get some heating pad. Ain't no heating pad. Let me do a warm compress. Ain't no warm towel, man. With some hot water from the sink. So the Most High, hey, he gets down. The Most High gets down, right? The Most High, he gets down. Let's go to Psalms. And pestilence is coming on the earth, man. Now, the Most High didn't say what kind of pestilence he's going to bring, and is he going to bring this? He don't give you a script about what he's going to bring. He's just going to send these angels down, and people going to get caught out there. People going to get caught out there. Psalms chapter 66 and 5. Come and see the works of Yahweh. Bashmi Awashai, he is terrible and is doing toward the children of men. And the Most High is terrible, man. He's called the King of Terrors. The Most High said that, man. That's not something that man made up. I want to call the Most High the King of Terrors. The Most High had our fathers write that in the scriptures. He wanted that to be known. If the Most High didn't want that to be on him, he could have said, "Why y'all call me that? Don't slander me. I'm all love. I'm all peace. Don't call me the King of Terrors. Don't do that, right? I'm not that kind of. I'm not." And the Most High, he wrote in Job through the spirit of the prophets that he is the King of Terrors. The Most High, and he put that for us to learn that and know that. And when you see his works, not just hurricanes and wildfires and earthquakes, the works that he does on the wicked, righteous works, all of the works of the Most High, come and see that he's terrible and is doing toward the children of men. Now, the children of men are not the children of God. The children of God are the Israelites. The children of the men are the children of men, aka the sons of men, represent the other nations. They are the children of men. And you have the children of the wicked, right? When you read the book of let me get that in First John. So those are the children of men. When you go to First John, the 3rd chapter, you have the children of the devil. First John 3 and 10. And this the children of God are manifest, and the children of the devil. Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of God, neither he that loveth not his brother. Right? So you see, you have the children of God. We read about the children of men, and you have the children of the devil. Those are really the three major, right, classes of men in the last days. And the Lord is terrible to and is doing toward the children of men, but he's also terrible in his doing toward the children of the devil. And there are times, and we've seen it, where the Most High, he jams up the children of God as well through pestilence and through disease, man. Right? Let's go to Exodus chapter 15. Right? Let's go to Exodus chapter 15. And I want verse number 26. Right? Exodus chapter 15 and 26. And said, if thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of Yahweh thy God, and will do that which is right in his sight, and wilt give ear to his commandments, and keep all the statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians, for I am the Lord that healeth thee. So the Lord is the one that heals. He's the one that kills. He makes alive. He brings down to the grave. He bringeth up. That's the Most High, right? So any disease that you see happening in today's time or in any time in history, it was done by the Most High to judge men due to their wickedness. And that's one of the reasons why you're going to have major pestilence on earth. See, people saw what happened in 2019, right? That plague, 2020, 6 feet apart, all of that. People thought that that was, oh my God, oh, what's happening? What's happening? Now, people was getting sick, but it wasn't on the level that we all know the facade, right? And really, too, man, a lot of people, they was taking that, what's the word I want to use? They was taking that, getting touched, man, by the so-called white man, right? You was getting touched by the so-called white man. I'll leave it at that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then hey, guess what, man? So people was getting that thing inside of them, right? Now, when the Most High start bringing these diseases on the earth, man, they may very well do that again. If you want to keep your job, if you want to go into the store, if you want to be able to make this move, you want to be able to cross this bridge, you want to go from this state to this state, let me see your so-called card, or let me see this, or let me show your paperwork, right? That you're not affected. And it may flash the flashlight in your eyes, man. When you watch that movie, damn man, was that World War Z? Man, what was that movie, man? I don't know if this was let me see if they got the one. Or was that was I Am Legend? That was I Am Legend. World War Z is good too, right? When his wife, I think his wife got taken from him or something like that, man. Right? Let me see. But when you watch that movie, man, they had these checkout points, man. Right? They had these checkout points. Maybe I'm not able to find it. But you couldn't go into another city, man. They had the military there. They'll flash your eyes and let me see how you look, and right, they'll look at your teeth, and or they'll point you this way if you look like you got it, and they'll put you in some FEMA camp. But if you look good and you can go that way, they was doing that, man. When you had that outbreak, it's called predictive programming. A lot of these movies, they show you how the government responds to major outbreaks. And back in 2019, that wasn't nothing compared to what could potentially happen in these last days. Right? So we read in Exodus 15 that the Most High said, if you keep his commandments, his laws, and his statutes, then guess what? You're going to be protected. You're not going to be hit by these diseases, man. You don't have to worry about it, man. Oh my God, what happens? I'm going to get sick. If you follow diligently the voice of the Most High, you're going to fare well in the last days. But if you're against the grain, against the Most High, and contrary, and you're going to get caught out there. And you're going to have to deal with it, man. You're going to have to deal with it. This is 2 Chronicles, chapter 21, right? I believe I want 1 Chronicles. Actually, no, this is what I want. I want 2 Chronicles. This is what I want. 2 Chronicles, chapter 21 and 12. Right? Let's read this. 2 Chronicles 21 and 12. The judgment to the Most High. And there came a writing to him from Elijah the prophet, saying, thus saith the Lord God of David thy father, because thou hast not walked in the ways of Jehoshaphat thy father, nor in the ways of Asa, king of Judah, but has walked in the ways of the kings of Israel, and has made Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem to go a whoring, like to the whoredoms of the house of Ahab. This is Jehoram, right? The king that the Most High is prophesying against, right? He said you went off, you followed the ways of the kings of Israel. You stripped Israel naked and made them sin. And has also slain thy brethren of thy father's house, right? You was a murderer, which were better than thyself, because there are men that are better than you. Here's the judgment. Behold, with a great plague will the Lord smite thy people and thy children and thy wives and all thy goods. And thou shalt have great sickness by disease of thy bowels, until thy bowels fall out by reason of the sickness day by day. And you see what happens when we don't serve the Most High? This man was a murderer. And that's the equivalent now to Jake. You may not actually go out there and murder, right? You're in this truth. That may be the farthest thing from your mind. But, right, but if you hate your brother, guess what? You're a murderer, right? So there's no difference. If you lead Israel a whoring, right? You teach them to go against Yahweh Shai, right? You set up idols in your heart. You sin. The Most High is going to judge you, and He doesn't have to judge you of you by you getting stabbed or you got shot or how did the Most High judge him, man? I mean, how many judgments that the Most High has, man? Like I said, the Most High, He got His own bad that He could pull out, man. Oh, I'm gonna swallow you up, right? Like Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Okay, I'm gonna have talents of stone come down, like in the days of Joshua, right? The Most High got many plagues. This one is a heavy one. He said your bowels are your large intestine, your small intestine, your stomach, right? All of that, man. Your appendix, your kidneys, your livers, those are your bowels. He said your bowels are going to fall out. And they don't fall out through your stomach. I mean, through your mouth, right? Your bowels don't fall out through your mouth. I'm going to just leave that there. You can take it how you want to take it. Well, what happened? How did they fall out? Well, where did they go? Think about it. Now, let's find this, right? Intestines fall out. Man, you type some stuff in these WebMD or I got a headache and right, or this happened to me, man, you'll think that you was about to die. So, but look, this is rectal prolapse. That's what he had. And small bowel prolapse are conditions where the intestines slip out of place. So your intestines start slipping out of your rectum, right? The Most High kind of sent an angel in there, start shifting stuff. Next thing you know, you go to use the bathroom, right? Your stomach, my stomach hurt, man. I don't know what it is, man. What did I eat? Right? You drink a ginger ale, man, ain't nothing happening, man. You drink some, Jake, oh, did you drink some water? And you drink some water, God, what's going on, man? God, use the bathroom. Next thing you know, man, your intestines are coming out. You don't want to be on the wrong hand of Yahweh Shai in these last days. Right? The rectum, the end of the large intestine, slips through the anus. Straight up, man. That's what he had. Because he went off. Right? And you might rather want to get hit by a missile than go through rectal prolapse. It can feel like hemorrhoids. And the Most High gave people hemorrhoids, man. Right? The Most High gave them wicked, demonic Philistines hemorrhoids. They say, well, where is that at? We're going to bring that out next, Most High will. Right? 1 Samuel 5. It can feel like hemorrhoids, but it doesn't go away on its own. It can be uncomfortable and embarrassing, but it's rarely a medical emergency. Now, this guy, this was a medical emergency, because this guy, the Most High said, right, you're gonna die day by day, right? Or he said you're gonna have a great sickness until thy bowels fall out. Let me jump down to verse number, and this guy ended up dying, right? Second Chronicles 21 and 18. And after all this, the Lord smote him and his bowels with an incurable disease. So you're going to have major disease and pestilence on the earth, and a lot of people ain't going to be cured. We don't care who you go to, right? We don't care if you get something right here in your right arm or something in here in your left arm. The Most High, he's the one that heals you. He's the one that can say, look, this ain't going to be cured. He gives the green light. And it shall come to pass that in process of time, after the end of 2 years, his bowels fell out by reason of his sickness. So he died of sore diseases, and his people made no burning for him, like the burning of his fathers. Or so they didn't burn incense and spices and things of that nature at his burial. They said, we got this guy stink. Hey, put him in the grave, put him in the dirt. Let's keep it moving. We can't linger and do all this burning. Let's keep it moving. Right? So these are judgments, man. These are judgments from on high. Now, this is from the Guardian, right? The Guardian Global. Now, this is from it's about a month old, right? Maybe about 30 days ago. It reads, are we ready for another pandemic? Right? Again, a pandemic is a global, right, or nationwide outbreak, right? And again, the Most High sends evil spirits down here to work on the people and jam up their health. It reads, 5 years ago, the world was hearing the first reports of a mysterious flu-like illness emerging from China, now known as the pestilence, right? The pandemic that followed brought more than 14 million deaths, and we don't know the veracity of these numbers, right? Was it 14 million or was it 1400, right? Nevertheless, people died, right? And sent shockwaves through the world economy. And that's another thing you got to worry about with pestilence. It affects the economy. People ain't going to work, right? People ain't driving trucks. People ain't working in distribution centers. People ain't working in warehouses. They're not working in fulfillment centers, retails, right? Places that deal with interaction in restaurants and bars and all that stuff is shut down. All that stuff is shut down. So it also affects the economy. It's not just affecting your health, man. It affects business and buying and selling and trade, commerce, right? About 400 million people worldwide have long have had long pestilence. World leaders recognizing that another pandemic was not a question of if, but when, promised to work together to strengthen global health systems, right? So there you have people that are already planning for the next big thing. What is the next big thing coming in the earth? Right? It reads, but negotiations on a new pandemic agreement stalled in 2024. Even as further global public health threats and emergencies were identified. If a new pandemic threat emerges in 2025, experts are yet to be convinced that we will deal with it any better than the last. Meaning, look, it's going to be the same thing, right? Because you really can't plan for a major global catastrophe, right? You can't really plan for that, man. So, and people, man, people who, you can't plan for the control measures that are going to be put into place either, right? You can't control if your job is shut down or not. That's out of your hands, man. You can't control if your grocery store is shut down, right? If you can't travel from city to city, state to state, people ain't going to know how to deal with these things, man. Right? People aren't going to know how to deal with these things. Now, you also had let me pull this up. This is from so-called CBS, but it's other sites, right? It says as the avian, right? I'll use that, or the foul plague, you can see it on the screen, spreads as health agencies reel from cuts. And they say Dodge cuts could hamper United States response to next pandemic. So it would almost seem like they know that another big one is coming. And now they're putting these excuses into place so people could riot and lose their mind, and they could come out with these draconian measures to quarantine people all over again, lock people up, and run experiments on people because they're going to say that, we had to do these cuts. We wasn't prepared. We withdrew from the World Health Organization. So that's what they're doing, right? That's what they're doing. Now I'm gonna play a little of this. This is fair use. I'm gonna play a little of this audio right here, right? So these devils, man, again, they are very, very crafty. But I'm gonna play a little of this through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemiah Shah. Right? So let's play this. Slakia. Again, this is fair use.
Welcome back to America Decides. Thanks so much for staying with us. Bird flu, as it is called, is spreading through thousands of animals and has reached some humans. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has tracked 70 cases thus far and one.
And they call it the CDC, but you would think that they're set up to control and mitigate the spread of disease and help people out, but that's not the case, right? That's not the case. They're created to help facilitate and manufacture diseases and put control measures in place working hand in hand with the system, right? When these outbreaks spread, that's what they're created for. They're not scratching their head trying to figure out how to cure cancer.
As it is called, is spreading through thousands of animals and has reached some humans. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has tracked 70 cases thus far and one death in the United States. Around 700 people have been laid off from the CDC in recent weeks due to cuts from the Trump administration.
See that? So you heard what he said. He said 700 people were cut from the CDC. You got to read between the lines. You got to read between the lines, right? Over 700 people have been cut from the CDC due to the Trump administration, which means in a perfect world that they're not going to have people there to create measures to prevent disease from spreading, because they had to do these cuts, right? So CDC and these private corporations and these organizations aren't going to be able to do it. So the government, they're going to have to come into play, right? And they're going to have to come out with these draconian measures to stop this from spreading, right? Rather, you can't travel from state to state, or you can't travel from city to city, right? Or you're locked in, or your job is shut down, or whatever the case may be, right? So let me rewind that a little bit more.
People have been laid off from the CDC in recent death. For Disease Control and Prevention has tracked 70 cases thus far and one death in the United States. Around 700 people have been laid off from the CDC in recent weeks due to cuts from the Trump administration. And some public health experts are expressing concern that those job reductions might make us less prepared for the next pandemic.
See that? Those job reductions might make us less prepared for the next pandemic. They know what they're doing now, right? They're creating a lot of these moves that the Most High has Trump making. These are horrible decisions, but it's done by strategy and by design. It's pretty much they're self-imploding this system that they can come out and establish a new world order with their own laws to be able to move how they want to move. Right now, I'm not going to pull this precept up on the screen, but I'm going to just read it in Isaiah the 19th chapter. Right? Let's go to Isaiah the 19th chapter. Then I'm going to play the rest of this. I know I keep pausing it, but that's okay. Right? Isaiah chapter 19 and verse number 14. Right? It reads, Yahweh hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. So there are actual spirits working on the minds of these elites, causing them to make decisions to disrupt, destroy, and break down their own economy. That's what the Lord said. There's a perverse spirit mingled in this society. For them to cut people who help control the outbreak allegedly of diseases, it's not the wisest move to make.
Those job reductions might make us less prepared for the next pandemic. Science writer David Quammen joins us now. He is the author of the book Breathless, The Scientific Race to Defeat a Deadly Virus. Importantly, in 2012, he also is the author of a book entitled Spillover. You are deeply experienced in this area of research and writing. What is our current risk factor associated with bird flu and our ability at the federal level to properly measure it, explain it, and combat it?
Well, our current risk level, according to the CDC website that I looked at today, is low. The issue is how easy is it for that risk level to move from low to high in a minute, in a day, in 2 days? The cuts that we've all been hearing about to the CDC, to the National Institutes of Allergy and Infectious Disease, to the NIH, what concerns me about those cuts is the timing, the scale, and the focus of those cuts.
You see that? Right? You see that? He said the timing, the scale, and the focus of those cuts. So if you're going to make any cuts, right? First of all, why at this time? Right? What's going to happen, man? What do you know? Right? What do you know? Right? What's the big plan? Why now? That's what it means, timing. Right? Here it is. You have a so-called foul disease, right? Spreading, and you say, you know what, man, let's cut the people who help control, cure, and reduce that disease. Let's cut all of those people, right? Let's cut some jobs for them. We don't need that. That's timing. That's what Isaiah 19 is talking about. The Lord made these people make decisions that are going to self-implode the society, right? Also, he said the scale. So you cut 700, right? On the magnitude of people you cut, man, you didn't cut 2 or 3 guys that was making $250,000 a year, right? They cut 700 people, man, whose salaries could have went from damn 60,000 to damn, I don't know, 80,000, man, right? And there was another thing he said. He said timing. He said the scale. And let me go back a little bit.
NIH. What concerns me about those cuts is the timing, the scale, and the focus of those cuts.
And the focus of those cuts, man. Right? So you even got Edomites scratching their head, man. Right? See, everybody wanted this demon Trump to be in office, man. Right? Everybody was trumping out, freaking off. Now you got Edomites, they scratching their head, man. Trying to figure out, well, you know, what do we do? What's going on? Right? Well, the Lord said, I'm going to read this too. I'm not going to put it up on the screen. Right? But here's also what the Most High said. This is Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 1. Right? Proverbs 16 and 1. The preparations of the heart in man and the answer of the tongue is from Yahweh. So the preparations of the heart in man are his, you know, his cogitations, his deep thoughts, right? When he meditates, how he brainstorms, how he, you know, he goes into his mind, right? Those thoughts are of the Lord. Also, it said the answer of the tongue is from the Lord, right? So any answer is from the Most High, rather it's a false answer or a true answer. Now, what does that mean? It means the thoughts that Trump and these elites are making is of God. The Most High is allowing them to do that because the Most High has demons working on them to make, again, decisions that are going to further push the end of the world, right? That's why these moves are being made. You know, that's why these moves are being made. Let's go to Amos chapter 4, right? This is Amos chapter 4 and 13, right? It reads, for lo, he that formeth the mountains and created the wind and declareth unto man what is his thought, that maketh the morning darkness and treadeth upon the high places of the earth. Yahweh, the God of hosts, is his name. So the Lord forms the mountains, he creates the wind, and he also declares unto man what is his thought. So the next thought that popped into your mind, who put it there? The Most High, right?
Is the timing, the scale, and the focus of those cuts. As you mentioned, we are living in a rain of bird flu coming down out of the skies from wild birds onto poultry farms in the U.S., onto dairy farms in the U.S. now.
And that's why you got egg prices going up. You got chicken prices going up. You got people scared to buy chicken, man. Right? A dozen eggs is about $15 at certain places. Now, if you could kind of find something, you found something. But I'm seeing stuff where they saying, man, I have to pay $20, $15 to $20 for a dozen eggs. That go back into the supply and demand that we went into in the previous cold cut.
There's a lot of other outbreaks around the world. It's a really bad time for us to be reducing our capacity for scientific research, vaccine development, and public health measures.
And David,
you see that? So the point is, you understand, right? If you read between the lines, you see through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, right, what these devils are planning and how they are moving, man. You see what they're planning and how they're moving. This is where is this at? Let me pull this up. I mean, there's a lot. I want to get this first. All right, here's this demon, right? Not this demon. There's another demon. It's a lot of demons, right? But the demon, so-called Bill Gates, says the next pandemic can emerge anywhere. Make sure the screen is showing. Okay. Pull this back up, Salakia. Where we at? Okay. The next pandemic, this was so-called Bill Gates said. And we know he's an ultimate devil, right? But he said it can emerge anywhere and the world isn't prepared. We can't afford to get caught flat-footed again. But he's one of these guys that are for what's the word I'm looking for? Depopulation, if that's the right word. Reducing the global population. He came out and said that, man. So you gotta, this is called speaking with a double tongue, being a hypocrite and a liar. Here he said we want to reduce global population. Let's see if I can find who's saying that. Right? Bill Gates, reduce, right? Let's see, global population. Right? He came out and said that. Right? He came out and said that. Bill Gates talked about reducing the global population by 10 to 15% using new, I don't even know if they'll flag the channel, but you see the word, new so-called cures for population control. So now he, on one hand, he said we got to reduce this by using so-called vaccines, how you say that word, for population control. Then on the other side of his mouth, he said the world isn't ready yet. So he's one of the warlocks and wizards and orchestrators of pushing this major next pandemic in the land of the living, right? He's one of these next main guys that the Most High ultimately set up to push this, man. Right? It's lucky. Let me go back. Right? Where am I at? Right? Salakia. Right? To push that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right? So let me read a little of this. Now, this is from the 24th, February 24th, right? Bill Gates has been warning about pandemics for nearly a decade, but his biggest fear isn't just another outbreak, it's that the world isn't learning from past mistakes. After the first pestilence in 19, which shut down economies and killed millions, Gates said we're still not prepared for the next global health crisis, right? In March 2023, he wrote an opinion piece for the New York Times saying the world is once again making the same costly mistake. We can't afford to get caught flat-footed again, right? So they're they're in the works. People are working behind the scenes, like the Most High said in Psalms chapter 64, right? Let me get this in Psalms 2, right? About these counsels that these demons have, man, right? Psalms chapter 2 and 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? And that's what's happening. The heathen are raging, right? They're working secret dark councils, round tables. Remember the part of the Georgia Guidestones, one of their so-called commandments was to reduce global population under 500 million, right? That's why they poison your food, poison your air, poison your water, destroy your mind with television, rap, hip hop, weed, drugs, all types of wickedness, right? Religion and science and folly and vanity on top of the hospitals and these vaccines and these so-called cures. It's to break you down. And that they may exalt themselves and reduce the population to under so-called 500 million, that they can have better control, right? So why do the heathen rage, man? Why is there a tumult? And the people imagine a vain thing. And they do imagine a vain thing. They really imagine that they're the ones that's going to push disease out there and death out there and destruction out there, and then come out and fix everything, establish a new world order, rule everybody with an iron fist, control everybody, and then they live happily ever after. They took Yahweh Shemel Shai out the equation, man. So they have imagined the vain thing. Once you remove the Most High from the equation, right, all of your thoughts become vain. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. So they want to break the strength of the children of Israel, right? And they want to break our connection to the Most High, right? So let's pull this up, right? Which infectious disease is likely to become the biggest emerging problem in 2025? And people, you're gonna have people with these with some hazmat suits on, man, right? Let's see if I can find that military hazmat suits, right? Guys with flamethrowers burning bodies, right? You've seen the movies, man. People in trenches, right? These guys going door to door, rounding up people, man, patrolling the streets, capturing bodies, putting them in the bag, throwing them in the pit, burning them, right? So these are heavy duty coverall isolation hazmat suits, hazardous material suits, if you will, right? And they have so-called FEMA camps, concentration camps. And look, some of these guys are armed, man. Some of these guys have guns, man, bullets, ammunition. They don't just carry them thermometers for your forehead to scan your temperature. Some of these guys, they're trained to kill. They're ex-riflemen, snipers, Marine Corps guys, man. So these guys are set up by the system to go from different lands. Look at this. Damn, this is transit police, right? He got the mask on so he can't breathe in a toxic disease and not be infected. He got a rifle, or whatever this is, man. He got some type of rifle in his hand, and it says police, but he has a hazmat suit on. And you're going to start seeing people that may look like this, man. God knows how many of masks the government has manufactured for those days. Only the Most High knows it, right? Only Yahweh Bashmel Shai knows what they have, man. Right? And these diseases, man, they're going to come from the Most High. And we don't know exactly what the disease is going to be. Right now they're talking about this thing with the birds and the fowls of the air, right? Now that can increase, like even that devil said that. He said you can have one death today, you might have 20 tomorrow. And you might not literally have 20, but these devils can make it seem like it's 20. And then they start putting, certain protocols into place to limit you from going out, buying, selling, right? Working, providing for your family, leaving your state, etc. Now let me read this. This is 1 Samuel chapter 5 and verse number 6. I want to get straight to the point. So you read this account. The Philistines destroyed the children of Israel. They took the Ark of the Covenant, and the Most High jammed them up for that. He judged them for that. And he gave them a plague. Let's see the plague he gave them. 1 Samuel 5 and 6, the plague to the Philistines. But the hand of the Lord was heavy upon them of Ashdod. It's one of the 5 Philistine cities, right? It reads, and he destroyed them and smote them with emerods even Ashdod and the coast thereof. So the Lord smote the Philistines because they took the Ark of the Covenant. He smote them with emerods. What are emerods? Let's pull this up. All right. What are emerods? Now again, this was a epidemic that he gave them. Right. Here's emerods. It says tumors, hemorrhoids, piles. Right. A boil or ulcer from the inflammation, especially a tumor in the anus or pudina. The piles, emerald. That's what the Most High gave them, man. He gave them hemorrhoids, tumors, and inflammation. That's an epidemic he gave them, right? And it spread from city to city. Ekron, Gaza, all of these Philistine cities, they all got hit, man, because they would move the Ark of the Covenant from one city to the other city. But in process of time, the Most High started jamming all of them up, man. Right? The Most High started jamming all of them up through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua. Right? And I'm not going to pull up a picture of that. Right? But that's nothing you want to mess around with, man. Right? That's nothing that you want to mess around with. This is I want Leviticus, right? Chapter 26. That's what I want. So you see the Most High, man, he'll give you emeralds, man. Keep playing around with the Most High, right? And you're going to wake up, right? And you're going to say, ouch. And you're going to have emeralds. 1 Samuel chapter, Slakia, Leviticus, that's what I want. Leviticus chapter 26 and 21. And if you walk contrary to me and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sins. And this is what's happening to America, right? They're walking contrary to the Most High. They're sodomites, they're child molesters, they're murderers, they're demons, they're pedophiles, right? They're idolaters. They're full of lust and folly in the world. They're drug dealers, hypocrites. And the Most High said, if you walk contrary, and this entire kingdom, Babylon the Great, the land of confusion, they walk contrary to the Most High. So what is the Most High going to do? He's going to bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sins. And the Most High said her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquity. Right? So don't be surprised when you see all these plagues. It happens to those kingdoms and to those men who have and will walk contrary to the Most High. Right? It happens all the time. Now, this is from, let me get this. I want to play this too. Right? This is the next pandemic. What will it be? Right? What will it be? Only Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua know it. But I'm going to play this anyway. Right? What will it be? What is the Most High going to jam up the people of the earth with now? Right? Let's play this. Again, this is fair use as well.
Meet
Right?
the tiniest HR team in the world.
What do you think Paylocity does?
Paylocity.
Hold on. Let me actually get another one real quick before I get this one. Right? Let me get another one before I get that one. Right? What will the next one be? All right, let me pull this up through the spirit. I want to get this first. Here it is. Let me get this one first. This is from Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health, right? If you've been watching, you know that Trump and the US, they pulled out, or they're planning, if they haven't done it already officially, of the World Health Organization, right? The US and the World Health Organization, an imperfect but essential relationship, right? On the first day, so they actually did do this, right? On the first day of his second term, Trump signed an executive order withdrawing the United States from the World Health Organization, right? The order was expected as he attempted this during his first term in July 2020. However, because WHO or the World Health Organization withdrawal requires a 1-year notice the decision did not take effect and was reversed by Biden when he took office in 2021. Right? You may say, well, what's the big deal? What does this mean? Well, let's find out. In this Q&A adapted from the January 28th episode of Public Health on Call, Judd Watson, Robert E. Blackchair in International Health, talks to host Stephanie Desmond about the essential roles the World Health Organization plays in monitoring, right, and responding to health issues around the world and the consequences this decision could have on health and security in the US and worldwide. So it seems like every move that they're making, that this system, Babylon the Great, is making, is to isolate themselves, that they can have a reason, or an excuse rather, to say, well, we don't know how to control this outbreak. We don't know how to control this disease, right? We're not able to reach out to other countries to get help. We can't monitor what's going on in other countries. We're not at their meetings. We're not here to see the next outbreak. We're in our own bubble now, and we cut jobs from the CDC, from the allergy committee, all that. So when these next so-called diseases kick off, I mean, they're setting themselves up to fail, right? And I'm led to believe they're going to say, you know what? We're going to create a government branch or a particular military branch that's going to oversee this pandemic. They're going to take it out of the hands of your CDC and what have you, and it's going to go into the hands of the military, right? It's going to be a military operation more than just a healthcare, medicinal, pharmaceutical operation, right? So they're cutting themselves away. And the Most High said in Ecclesiastes, let me get this real quick, chapter 4 and 10, right? Ecclesiastes chapter 4. Actually, I want right, let's see. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 9, right? Two are better than one, for they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him. So America, they're isolating themselves, man. The Lord said, woe to him that is alone when he falleth. Right? You separated yourself from the World Health Organization, right? Where they globally monitor and give updates and alerts about next disease outbreaks, how to prepare, where is it at? Is it coming near you? What should you do to get ready? America said, you know what, man? We don't need that, right? And we're led to believe, the reason why. They branched off from the CDC, and it's not just the CDC. Trump, he cut a lot of, let me see if I can find this. Trump cuts, let's see, health organizations. Let's see if I can find it. It was more than just the CDC, right? It was all types of health agencies, man. Look at this. The NIH, health agencies lose staff members in key areas as Trump firing sets in. It's from February 17th. So all your top people that are set up to monitor, facilitate, and control how to deal with these diseases and pandemics, the Most High put in their spirit to get rid of those guys, man. So there are no people who can control or assure that these things aren't going to spread. They cut themselves off from the world. And they withdrew. The first thing he did is he withdrew from the World Health Organization. So they can have a reason to act like they don't know what's going on. That's why I keep watch, man. You got to keep watch. Let me read this again. Ecclesiastes 4 and 10. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. In America, they're alone. They're breaking off from NATO. They're breaking off from the EU. They're putting tariffs on Canada up north. They're putting tariffs on Mexico down south. right? They don't want to get down with the other nation. They're alone. The Lord said death and destruction to that nation, that man, that individual that's alone. You don't have nobody to help you, man. Right? You don't have nobody to help you. It reads, and again, if two lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him. And a threefold cord is not quickly broken. So if there's like an outbreak in England and France knows about it and they communicate, and they can prepare themselves, right? And come up with plans to help each other out, right? But when you isolate yourself like this system is doing, man, I mean, what do you expect? That's why you have certain prophecies. Let's go to 2nd Ezra 15. You have certain prophecies like what? Let's go to this. Right? 2nd Ezra, which is a beautiful chapter. Right? This is a beautiful chapter through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shah. Right? I'm going to read up, but then I'm going to jump down. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse number 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that God shall bring upon it. And the Lord smote Egypt with pandemics, man. Right? The plagues on the livestock, the boils, the things of that nature. That was a plague. Right? People was getting all jammed up. And the Most High, he's going to do it again. This Egypt in 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and 12, it's not ancient Egypt. It's not out there in North Africa. This is spiritual Egypt. Read Revelation 11 and 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of that great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. So this is a new Egypt, a new bondage. And they're going to mourn. Why are they going to mourn? Because of what? It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. What is a plague? Right? Because the Bible says that plagues are going to be brought to America. A contagious bacterial disease characterized by fever and delirium, typically with the formation of buboes and sometimes infection of the lungs, right? Afflict, bedevil, cause suffering to, torture, torment, trouble, right? Curse, dog, rack. These are different synonyms, man. Right? These are plagues that the Most High is going to bring. A contagious disease that spreads rapidly and kills many people. That's what the Most High is bringing to modern day Egypt. Right? And that's why you see the society cutting their alliance from the World Health Organization. They're cutting off jobs from the National Institute of Health, the NIH. They're cutting off jobs all of a sudden, federal jobs in DC. They're cutting jobs all of a sudden for the CDC. And he's targeting the health as these diseases spread more and more and more. So, you know, if you're not under, again, I'll say it again. I mean, we can't stress this enough, man. Can't say it enough, right? If you're not under the protection of Yahweh Bashmi Shai, you're going to get caught out there. You're going to have to deal with it. You're going to scratch. What the hell? Right? You're going to itch. What's that? Right? Every cough is going to alarm. I'm coughing. Do I have? Right? Right? You're going to do that a lot, man. People are going to be coughing and it's going to get bad. They're going to shut workplaces down, jobs. Hey, you can't come in. And it may get to the point where they may do that whole essential worker thing again, but then they may not. Right? They might not do that again, man. Right? They might not do that again. Let's go to Deuteronomy 30 and 7. Right? Yeah, they had the essential workers back then. Hey, but they might not do that again, man. There's going to be lines to go to the grocery store. Only 10 people can come in at a time. Let me see your card. Let me see this. Did you get that thing inside of you? And a lot of you jakes, man, they was advertising the Maxine. They was giving people Big Macs, deep dishes, hoagies, stuffed crust, onion rings, you know, milkshakes, free parking passes, tickets to the Lakers. And Jake was eating that up, man. Jake, you got weak during that time. And a lot of Israelites, I know you, a lot of you Israelites, maybe not tuning in, but if the shoe fits, a lot of you got that Maxine. You got scared, your job, you know, they was making moves and you folded under pressure and you got the Maxine. See, this is going to be a time of testing too, man. It's going to be a time of testing for the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man, woman, and child, right? And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Right? Let's get one of the classic curses that the Most High is going to bring back in these last days. Right? Now you think about it, man. These major pandemics affect entire economies. Supply chain is disrupted. It comes to a standstill. That is one of the best ways to self-implode an economy, and they know that. That's why they're making the moves that they're making. All right. Deuteronomy chapter. Let's see one of the curses that the Most High is going to bring on our enemies. Deuteronomy 28 and 59, the classic. Then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, of sore sickness, and of long continuance. Right? Generational for years and years. You're going to have great plagues until Yahushua returns. You're going to have people coughing up blood, dying, starving to death, and they look up, man, they get the blood out their eyes. They look up, and it's Yahushua returning with the chariots. And coughing up blood. They're going to pick up a rock and throw it at the chariot, man. Cough. You know, it's going to be a lot of coughing going on. And one thing I hate, man, is people coughing around me, especially an Edomite and a Moabite, really any heathen. But you Edomites, man, when they cough around you, man, and they don't cover their mouth. We know that, man. They burp, they cough, and they be in your face. And then they laugh and make a joke about it, man. So you have, and these people are filthy, man. These people, man, they don't wash their hands. They be, hey, man, look. These bathrooms are filthy. Public restroom. I mean, this place is a what's the word I'm looking for? You're just asking to get sick, man. You got 100 people on a subway train in New York City, going from the Bronx to here. One person cough, everybody's sick. People shaking your hand, excuse me, right? Go to the grocery store, you pick up an apple. And you picked up that damn apple. Hey, somebody sneezed on that apple 30 minutes ago. Wiped it on a jacket and put it back, man. You picking out the grapes out the bag, and this is a filthy, nasty, corrupt kingdom. So I'm not going to be surprised when these plagues become wonderful and of long continuance, sore sickness, man. Right? The Most High said even great plagues. Verse number 60. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. So if you're not right with the Most High, he's going to bring plagues on you. Look what happened to Joram. His bowels fell out. He had a rectal slip. Look what happened to Antiochus Epiphanes IV. His bowels was rotten. He died from the inside out. Don't play around with the Most High. Deuteronomy 28 and 61. Also, every sickness. It didn't say two of them, three. It said everyone, every sickness, and every plague, which is not written in the book of this law. And what plagues do you read? You read about leprosy. That's a plague, right? You read about certain illnesses. There are certain plagues you read about, right? So every plague which is not written in the Torah or in the scriptures, in the book of this law, them will Yahweh, Ba'ashmi Yahushai, bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. Right? So let me go back to this about this devil cutting. I had that pulled up. He cut these different let's see, where is this at? Right, I may have to pull it up again. I thought I had it already when Trump cut. Let me just type it in again. Right, Trump cuts health organizations. Right, Trump disbands health equity panel examining Medicare and Medicaid. Health agencies lose staff members in key areas as Trump firing sets in. NIH budget cuts threaten entire fields of research, stirring panic. Right? People are scared to death. Right? People are scared to death, man. Right? On Friday, the CDC told staff that 10% of the agency's workforce, about 1,300 employees, were notified they're going to lose their job. Right? NIH, 1,000 to 1,200 people. Now, these could be big guys, man. These could be your master researchers, the master connectors, right? To different organizations, to let hospitals know, hey, look, there's a disease coming, let the media know. Nobody knows these particular positions that were cut, right? But I'll tell you what, these guys wasn't janitors. They wasn't the window washers on the scaffold, right? Every Friday, these guys are top guys. Everybody don't work at the NIH, man. So even to be up there, you got to know some things. They're cutting off the wise men of Babylon. Right? Let me get that in Obadiah. The Lord is destroying. Let me get this in Jeremiah first. Right? I'm pressed for time. Let me get this. This is Jeremiah 49:7. Concerning Edom, thus said the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more into mine? Right. Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Yeah, you cutting off all your wise men, man. Where's all your wisdom? Right? Where's all of these guys these hundred or thousands rather, right, who work for the NIH, CDC, all right, who help manufacture and create these things, man? So all of the wisdom of the so-called white man is going down the drain. He is a walking time bomb. He's about to self-implode. He's about to self-implode, right? So you have to keep watch, man. You have to keep watch, right? So with that, we're going to close up, giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh. Ba'ashima Mashiach Kwam Malak Yahushai. Most High willing you are edified. Kwam Yasham. Shalom.